Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I've been to Asili's laboratory and what I discovered was abominable. Hundreds of poor souls tortured, victims of horrifying experiments. There were so many dead that a pit had been dug to burn the bodies.
How horrifying. I cannot believe it.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of Nauts.
Nauts? Pardon me for doubting you, but do you have proof of what you say? And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer these accusations?
Yes, we captured him.
Really? Very well. I will ensure that he is judged as quickly as possible. What was done with the prisoners that were being held in the laboratory?
They were freed. The Dinea Exregao are satisfied and should call off their attack.
What a relief. Finally, some good news. How can I repay you?
By allowing me to take part in the trial proceedings. What I saw merits justice, and I fear that the accused will find a great many defenders amongst his fellow savants.
It is a rather novel request, but granted. I shall inform the prosecutor. Let us remember that the madness of a man should not cast a shadow upon the greater sum of his work. His research is perhaps our only chance of discovering a remedy. Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I have returned in the hope that you might have changed your mind.
And you have done well to hope so. You have proven to me that I can trust you. I shall give you the support of my men for the attack on this infamous sanctuary.
Thank you, Excellency. I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Buran told me to pay you a visit.
Oh. It is you who arrested Doctor Asili, and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the Doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some Nauts. Perhaps I could convince some of the Doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
Do we have any chance of winning?
What you have brought me is a good start, Your Excellency, but it would be better to continue gathering evidence.
I will return to you soon. The Nauts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vikshadir. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. And I should also go back to Asili's laboratory. There may be more evidence there.
Let's see what you're capable of.
Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the Doctor's trial.
The Doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him.
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Thélème.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
I must leave you. can't believe it. Constantine's malachor was caused by Asili. The potion we were made to drink when we landed on the island was contaminated. How dare he do such a thing? And why?
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy. The best potions and the most efficient concoctions.
Hey! You are the Onol Menawi who freed us. We managed to reach Vikshadir.
They told me what you did for them, Renaigse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No. I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tiernahach. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice.
I never thought I'd see you here again. Why are you still free?
Dr. Honor made sure that I was set free. He needed my help. What do you want?
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Honor to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
What do the other scholars think of Doctor Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
I would like to say no. You had me thrown in prison, and without Dr. Honor's intervention, I would still be there. But I can't stop thinking about what we did in that laboratory. I think only by testifying will I ease my conscience.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial. I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness.
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the Governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course. Above all, we search for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
Searched?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
Afra, did you have something to say to Dr. Honor?
Thank you, Desade. I feel it is my duty to warn him. You probably know that I was one of Dr. Asili's students.
Naturally. It is undoubtedly under his influence that you have developed this remarkable analytical spirit.
Perhaps. But my analytical mind also pushed me to refuse to continue working with him. I saw his madness and cruelty grow deeper, and what we discovered in this laboratory was abominable. We must condemn him, not only so he can pay for this crime, but to free science from these kinds of abject methods.
Very well. You've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy. The best potions and the most efficient...
Come closer! Come closer! All my wares are in the vanguard.
Hello, Your Eminence.
Your Excellency, what can I do for you?
We need your help.
Are you trying to flatter me? Or are you mocking me in my disgrace?
Neither, Your Eminence. Our situation is so dire that we need what we can get. As you probably know, my cousin was afflicted by the Malachor, and saved from it by a native ritual. He hasn't been himself since, and he now has a thirst for power that is pushing him towards the most extreme decisions.
So, we were right to be wary of the demons of this island. To survive, your cousin has made a pact with them, and if I understand correctly, all of us will have to pay for it.
It's a bit more complicated than that, but yes, we may all pay the price for his madness.
Alas, I have no priests or inquisitors that I could send to support you, but I can give you this.
What is it?
A piece of jewelry, blessed in Teleme. It will be useful if you want to summon the power of the Enlightened. May he protect you in this fight, de Sardet. I will pray for your success.
Thank you, Your Eminence.
Do you need anything else?
I must leave you.
Of course.
De Sardet, what can I do for you?
I have come to ask for your help, Admiral. My cousin has been plunged into madness, and he apparently wishes to conquer the whole island. He took control of many creatures by reenacting rituals he learned from the islanders. And now he uses them to attack the cities and the villages of those he considers to be his rivals.
A difficult situation, admittedly, but one that does not concern us. Who's in charge of the island is none of our business, de Sardet, and you know that.
It actually does concern you. If my cousin takes control of the island, soon there will be no ports where your ships can berth. He's not looking for political influence. He desires power. Absolute power.
I see. It's a decent argument. So what now?
We must stop him at all costs. And for that, I will need allies. I already have the support of other factions, but I was hoping I could count on the help of the Nauts.
And you were wrong. We will not support someone who has repeatedly shown little respect for us.
Admiral, you should look past our old disputes. The fate of the island is at stake.
A fate that leaves us despite your claims. Who knows? We might even become richer. After all, the nations of the continent will pay us well to take back their cities.
I see. In that case, I will leave you, Admiral.
Are your boots? Come closer, good people. Liquor and wine from the continent. Tear-free alcohol.
Oh, it's you, old Menawi! Come
We'll
and
make
see.
it for you.
I'll receive beautiful things from our village.
Commander.
Desade, to what do I owe this visit?
I investigated and found out who orchestrated the attacks on San Mateus.
I was certain you would eventually find out who. You never give up. So, who is the bastard responsible for all these deaths?
My cousin, Constantine.
Your cousin? You have some nerve. What do you want? For me to declare war on you?
No. You must understand that the congregation had no hand in this. Constantine acted alone. Ever since he fell ill, he hasn't been himself. And who knows? Maybe the shock he felt after your attempted coup had something to do with it.
These attacks would be his revenge. Why target the others then?
I don't know. But I know that he performed a native ritual bonding him to the island several times. Each of these rituals gave him a great magical power and control of some guardians. Now he's threatening to target the main native sanctuary at the heart of the island. And if he succeeds, we won't be able to stop him.
You come here with your bizarre tales about magic, rituals, and sanctuaries. Probably expected me to send my troops out far away from my city. For all I know, you might very well still be acting on your cousin's behalf.
If that were the case, why would I have come to your rescue when the creatures attacked you? I could have just let them overwhelm you and your city would have fallen. But despite your treason, I helped you. And I'm now asking you to help me in return. I already managed to convince other factions to support me. But your men are still the best soldiers. If we want to have a chance at saving this island and its population, we must fight together.
I am in your debt, it's true. Without your intervention, I would probably have lost my city. And since I don't want you to think I'm ungrateful, I will give you this. I hope that it will prove useful to you, but you will have to fight without us. My men will never follow you in battle. They don't trust you. Sorry, Desade.
That is regrettable. But thank you, Commander. I will leave you to your business.
Good.